I find myself asking for help when it's necessary. So it's kind of like depending on the situation. If it's called for, I will ask for it.
I ask for help whenever I need a problem solved or I'm looking for some information.
You know, when I do ask for help, it does work out very well in the end. I realized things went a little bit smoother, was a little bit easier.
There are problems that of great magnitude that individuals can't deal with on their own, that they need some help to try to walk through and provide some direction from professionals so that they can learn how to solve those problems in a more efficient, in a more reconciliable way.
We all need to ask more questions of ourselves, of our families, of our communities, of our politics, of our social justice structures. Everywhere in history where people have been oppressed, it's been in a situation where people were afraid to ask questions.
You will feel better if you ask for help, but also things will not get as bad as they possibly could if you would ask for help.
I see a lot on buses that kids will, again, be picked on by somebody for quite a while before they report it to me. And then I'll talk to a parent, and the parent might say, well, this has been going on for 3 months. Well, if you've asked me 3 months ago, the last 2 months probably wouldn't have happened.
Well, how do you help? Oh yeah, people are like, yeah, I love helping people. I'd give my buddy the shirt off my back. I'd drop anything I would do. I'd get a shovel to help my buddy bury a body. Like, people do that. You know what I mean? People say that stuff all the time, but flip it around. How do you feel like when you're asked, to help somebody out? People feel good, right? So why wouldn't you ask for help? Because people are willing to do that. It's almost like you have to get over your own insecurities.
At times we're all looking for something that might be helpful to us and might help us through a really difficult time.
We each come to the table with different skills and talents, and if we were more interdependent, we would play off each other. So the best of you would help me, and the best of me would help you.
People are confronted with so many social issues and family issues and work issues that the old systems that we were all relying upon about trying to just muddle through and deal with it on your own just don't work anymore. And if that's what it needs to move in that direction, then go get the help that you need.
There's at least a picture of everybody's in their home and everybody's fine, by everybody who is pictured as having it all together, being willing to ask for help, or to tell the stories about when they didn't and how it turned into a mess. Then we set a tone.
I have found myself over the last couple of years asking, for instance, my son if he needs help with something, and trying to do it with a smile on my face. And I think more people doing that, I think it's kind of like the rising tide lifts all boats.
I think it's all in communication. I think it's when you speak to the parents, you give your business card, or you let them know that you are available, to help them with their issues.
And when you develop relationships, usually comes trust. And when you have trust, you can rely on persons to do whatever they tell you they're going to do. And perhaps it's how it's offered, how it's rendered.
How do they treat me about it later? Like, do you remember the time that you fell and couldn't get up? Is not a good feeling. Where do you remember when we did this together, or whatever. That's a good feeling still.
I think most of them who offer help do it, very confidentially. They wouldn't broadcast the fact that they're helping, such and such a person.
And I think that's okay, because it's talking about it and it's making it more comfortable. Like, there shouldn't be a stigma of, hey, we're going to counseling. And, why is there a stigma about that? Because we just want to be better people?
You'd never ever want to close the door on an individual who needs help or who's requesting help. There are probably, or used to be, many more individuals who didn't recognize that they needed help, but really did.
There seems to be a group of people that once they figure out how to receive assistance and help and aid, will take it for all it's worth and use everybody. Then there seems, on the other hand, to be people who just won't accept help. And right now we live in a world that's really mad at the group that are takers. So that makes it even harder to reduce the stigma.
I think in some cases, persons don't even know where to go for assistance. It's perhaps, just behind the scenes, and it needs to be more pronounced.
Make the help more available in the sense that sometimes I don't know that the help is there. So if I don't know that the help is there, I guess more publicity on whatever is out there.
I mean, there's a lot of charities, there's a lot of nonprofits, there's a lot of, but even trying to organize them all into one. I know that the Brady Sullivan thing that they've been doing, where they've been scaling the building, brought together, it was like 23 different nonprofits in the state, all together for one cause.
How much good can we do in X amount of time? Well, that is very upbeat, and it created a real storyline. And so it's like, where are they going to go next, and what are they going to do? And I'm thinking, why couldn't we do somewhat the same? We're about in X number of days wanting to do X. It's going to be a lot of good.
And ask groups of folks who are not the go-to people who say yes to everything. Look for people who don't usually help and see if you can invite them.
People bond over things that are, when they're emotionally connected over something. That's when people bond, right? It's proven fact. When you go through something exciting, scary, sad, traumatic, what have you, you're emotionally connected to somebody.
If you have that knack of being able to put yourself in their shoes, even if you don't agree with what they're doing, it helps resolve the conflict a lot easier than if you're not open-minded.
I want to help you, but you need to know that I have a thing about buckets and pipes. Buckets collect help for themselves. Pipes pass it on. So what I would ask of you is the next time you can help somebody, I'd like you to do it.
Can you help me? No, I'm not helping you.